Hey guys, I'm W-USA, Season 3, Episode 158. It is Sunday afternoon. I am home from my trip, and I am ready to make some money. Just taking off from the house right now. It is about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and we're going to make a lot of stops today. Hopefully a couple Blackjack stops as well, and I would love to make at least $2,000 today. We'll see how it goes though. It is a nice day. It's 77 degrees outside. Partly cloudy skies, the sun peeking through, nice breeze going through, so a really nice day overall. And we are heading out and trying to make some money. I think at this point I am down about $8,000 from my target for this day in the year, just to stay on schedule for my target for the year, for my goal for the year. So right now we are heading out to the first casino. We got a full tank of gas, and we'll see how it goes. Glad to be back, ready to make some money, need to make some money, and I'm gonna head off to the first spot, and I'll be back to update you. All right guys, I am back. So that was a miserable experience. 99% of that was miserable experience. So I walk into this place, and as I'm driving here, stomach starts to hurt, and it starts to get worse and worse and worse, and I'm like, this is pretty bad. I'm gonna probably have to stop and go home. It was hurting so bad. I walk into this place, I check some machines, and I see like one that's like a plus $10 EV, and I'm getting ready to play it, and it's just, my stomach's just hurting so bad. I go to the bathroom, and I'm still feeling awful. Wash my hands, walk out of there. I start feeling a little bit better. And so I'm already kind of not feeling great. I was feeling a little under the weather. I'm okay now. It's been about an hour now, and I'm feeling okay. I should have gotten a drink while I was in there, but I didn't. That was probably a mistake. But so I look at all these machines, and I see nothing. I go back to that one that's a $10 EV on my way back as I'm searching. I put in my voucher, or my money and my voucher, and I play this thing. I'm in this thing for like $150, and I end up okay, so I basically put in 200, and I've done $150 in spins, which is $27.50 spins. And I had a total net of $8.75 off that 150, so I'm down like whatever, 141.25 or whatever. So okay, that's great. So I cash out, I stand up, I go to the next machine, and my voucher is wrong. I go back to the first one, and it wants a hand pay for $27. I'm like, what's that? So I push the button. Well, it says someone's coming, but I pushed the button anyway. It didn't work, and it says someone's coming, and I wait and I wait and I wait, and these two guys come, slot techs come, and they have no clue how to fix it. They call another guy over, and he took down my card number, and he's like, I'll see what I can do. Just go ahead and do whatever you're gonna do, and I'll find you. He comes back around and finds me at the next machine, and he gets one of my cards, and he goes and he said, okay, everything is fixed now. He put $27 on my card, which is fine. So I continue on, and I see a friend of mine, and he doesn't know I have the podcast, but he's an AP, and nice guy, and he's there with, I think, his girlfriend or somebody I've never met before, and talked to him for a minute, and he's laughing about this miserable payout I got on this one that I was playing. Should have paid like $250. It paid about $40. So I'm feeling even worse now. Now I'm down about $450. $450. And I move on, and I find this other machine. I start playing, and the button is broken. Okay, the button is broken, then the screen will work, right? The little tiny screen in front of you with the bet amounts will work, but by doing that, I can't stop the reels. So I'm playing it, and I gotta wait for it to go and count up all the money and the next spin, and click, 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 and count up all the money and the next spin, and it was just an aggravating experience. And then if you hit a bonus inside a game, then you can't spin it. You have to wait for it to time out every time to spin. So it took like half an hour for this game. So I'm almost done with this game, and now at this point I'm down 1,000, almost 1,500. And I'm playing this game, and it's at $20 a spin, and I hit for like 300 or 400, then another couple hundred, and then finally hit what I'm going for, and it pays $1,330, I believe. And I'm looking up the picture right now, and yep, 1330, and that was it. That was the last play that I made. But it was hot, it was miserable, it was just not a fun experience, and but I ended up ahead, so that's at least I ended up ahead, $561. So I'm just putting it in my thing here, plus 561, and I get a text message from my wife, and it's actually my son, and he was frustrated. He couldn't get a hold of me, my little boy, and so I called my wife back, and she said, I didn't know if you wanted to go to dinner with us. I'm like, I'm pretty far away right now. I can't go to dinner, and I'm going to continue on. So she's like, well, he wants to talk to you. I said, okay. And he had sent me a picture of these Louis Vuitton shoes by Vans. So Louis Vuitton Vans shoes. So he's like, Dad, I got these Louis Vuitton shoes for $23, and I see them online. The lowest I see is $100 used and $350 new, and I'm going to sell them. Is that okay? I'm like, heck yeah, you can. So when I get home, maybe like tomorrow or something, after work, he and I can post those and get those sold for him. And my kids are really good about that stuff. I remember one of my daughters one time, who wasn't into Pokemon at all, had found a decent Pokemon, and we sold it for, I forget how much, $30 or $50 on eBay. So I was really like, yeah, it's never going to sell. These things are not worth anything. I'm not a big believer that you can buy ones these days and get any kind of value out of them. Especially the way the kids take care of them. They keep their album outside, it rains and stuff, and it's just terrible. But we've sold typewriters, antiques, things that kids have found at garage sales, and they've made some decent money on them. So I'm excited for him that he's going to sell these shoes. So we ended up ahead $561 after a lot of aggravation, a lot of frustration, and we're moving on right now. So moving on to another casino. This one has some opportunity, so maybe we can make another couple hundred. That would be really good. I'd be very happy if I could do that. So I'm going to let you go right now, and I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, I am back. You know what? My son is on a roll today. He found the orange prime he's been looking for. He's got all the colors, and he was missing the orange, and he found it today. Yesterday at one of the grocery stores that we stopped at, he found the Halloween one, which I guess is going for $10 on Amazon. And it was in a case on top of the shelves, and I took the case down for him, and he got as many as he wanted, so that was fun. All right, so I went into this place, and I'm looking around. I'm like, hey, something's good here. I'm not seeing all these guys that have been hounding this place. Maybe they got kicked out. And looking around, really seeing nobody doing what I'm doing. Finally end up seeing one guy, and he is on a machine that I don't like. And I'm like, you like this machine? He's like, well, I lost this much on it, and I lost this much on it. I'm like, yeah, I played this one before, and I actually hit a jackpot on it, and I don't think it's a play. And he's telling me that he lost a total of $20,000 on it last week, and he's still playing it, so I go figure. But I played a couple small machines, and I was ahead like $87 or something like that. And when I saw him, and the reason I walked around to that side is because there was a lady playing a machine on the other side, and I was waiting for her to get up. I see him, and I said, are you waiting for the play on the other side? He goes, oh, the one at $5, that's this and this and this. I'm like, oh, man. And he's like, no, I don't want it. Go ahead. So I'm like, okay, I'll take it. So I take a quick lap. I go to the soda machine, and I come back around, and she's gone. I sit down and start pumping in the money. And I was involved in that machine for a total of almost $1,300 before it started hitting. And I had a couple small hits on the run up, and finally I hit what I was going for, and I got my second W-2 in 2 stops today, and it paid a total of $1,547.70. So that brought my winnings for the session up to $1,308 and some change. So plus $1,308 there. Things are going good. Everything's going fine. We just got to keep on rolling and not make any mistakes. After that, I noticed that I had like $15 in food, so I went and got a little bit of food and some drinks to take with me. And that's really about it. Right now, temperature's still steady, 77 degrees, sun is starting to set, and it's behind all the trees here, so I can't even see the sun right now, but we're feeling good, and we're moving the right direction. I got mustard on my shirt, so I look like a bum, but that's okay, and we're moving on to another casino, and at this casino, we're probably not going to play any slots, but we might get a chance to play some blackjack. We might get a chance to play some poker. So we'll see how it goes. And then I'll come back and report to you. But can't complain about the day so far. And I'll be back. All right, guys. So I'm considering skipping a place and not playing blackjack just because of the heat there all the time. And my lifetime I haven't done well there, but lately I've done really well, and I've shown my face a little too much lately, so I'm thinking about skipping it. I have no free play, I have nothing free there. The only thing that would be for me there would be machines, and they don't have a good selection anyway, so I'm thinking with all that in mind, I'm going to skip that place. Now, can I replace it with somewhere else? I think the answer is yes, but is it worth it? So I'm going to think it through here. I'll either get home a little bit earlier, or I can replace it with something else, but it'll add a lot more time. I'm going to think it through, and I'll be back. Okay, guys, I am back. So I go into this place looking for a blackjack table first, and I'm expecting nothing on slots, which is the norm at this place. For one thing, they got rid of a lot of the good machines, and another thing, it's pretty saturated with people checking machines. So I go to the blackjack area, and there's one guy leaving a table, and he wasn't very happy. I go to the table, I sit down, I buy in. They're counting all the chips. And I just saw a political sign, made me laugh. So they were counting all the chips and getting everything figured out. I sit down, I buy in for 500, and first hand I get a 20, dealer gets a blackjack, and the dealer goes, yep, that's how it's been all day. I'm like, well, okay, well, thank you. Second hand, I get a blackjack, so I'm like, okay, well, this is evening out a little bit, you know. I could be okay with just going back and forth all night. I get one, you get one all night. So I play, and I have a pretty decent shoe right away, but the count's going negative more and more and more. So I'm winning hands, but the count continues to go negative. And then finally I decide to get up plus $615, just because the count was low. It was like minus running 12, something like that. And I'm over where I want to be, and things in this area have been kind of iffy lately with just people watching and stuff. So I thought it was a good time to get up. I decided to just walk around, look at slot machines. I don't see too much. And then finally I see a machine I want to play. Sit down, I lose about $10. Made me a little bit cranky, I must admit. And then walked around, looked at some more, played a couple others, and about 20 minutes later I'm down 199. So now I'm really cranky. And I go to another machine, and that one's at $3 a spin. Decide to play that, and by the time I finish that play, I end the session ahead $171. So overall, ended up ahead 615 on the blackjack, ended ahead 171 on the slots, and I know we're over 2,000 easily for the day, probably closing in on 3,000, at least 2,500. So we're in good shape right now, and we want to continue it. Unfortunately, the next couple casinos have very little that they offer us, really. There really isn't much at all. If there wasn't a car next to me, I would have taken this exit over here. There is a kind of hole-in-the-wall casino that I never visit because I was told they don't have any beatable machines, and I went there one time, but it's been a while, so I'm wondering if they do now. If they do, that could be a nice little secret that nobody knows. Except for the few people that know where I am. So right now we're going to move on to another casino. We're going to play some slots there, and we're trying to make 50 or 100 there. It's a very small place. And then we're going to skip a place, and then we're going to move on to another one. So the way things are going right now, it looks like we're going to have a lot of time. So I am open to adding a casino. There is one, but it's about 100 miles away. I just don't know if the value is there, because even if I play slots there and end up getting offers, am I really going to drive that extra 100 miles when I'm already a long way from home already? That extra 100 miles each way for one casino, that adds 3 hours to our trip, 3 hours plus to our trip. So I don't think that would be worth it. So for now, we're going to move on to the next one, and we'll decide what to do from there. But everything is just beautiful right now. The weather is beautiful. The sun is setting, and the temperature is still the same. And overall, everything is good. Traffic is clear. Can't complain. So I'll be back after the next stop. All right, guys, I am back. So, as expected, not really much in there. It's a small place. I found one play on one machine, and it lasted one spin at $1.50, I think, a spin, and I ended that ahead $18, so plus $18 there. I was actually thinking about on my trip when we were in Canada, all the windmills that were there, and honestly, as a guest of that area, I thought they were awful. I thought they were ugly. You look out at the beautiful landscape, the farmland, the corn, the soybeans, the nice sunsets over the water, all that, and then you see a bunch of windmills just making the scenery just look awful. I thought it was terrible, and almost the whole time that we were on our trip, the windmills were not moving, so I don't see, the big advantage there, but what do I know? The area that we were in was kind of skimping on things like plastic forks and spoons and things like that. We did get some wooden ones a few times, which I thought were terrible, but that's fine. That's what the local government has there for the people. That's fine, but overall, as a guest of the area, I didn't like it at all. So anyway, right now we're moving on. I decided, yes, for sure, I'm going to skip the next place, and I was going to replace it with another one, but it was just too much further for me. So just for the value of it, the last time I was there was probably 20 machines to check, and that means I'm probably have an EV of $10, $20, $30 at the most. So I don't think it's a good value. And even that place has Blackjack as well, but I never play there because they're the worst, and their limits are so low that any kind of spread to make any kind of money is going to alert them, and they're going to tell the place that I just left a little while ago where I played high limit Blackjack, and that low limit place at 10 or 15, even $5 a hand, will share information with this place, which is high limit, and destroy my chances of making money. It's just not worth it. So right now we're moving on to another casino, and we're going to sit back and relax, and we'll see what happens from here. I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. So I went to this next spot. Things were pretty dead in there. Not really a lot of action. I saw another advantage player who pointed out what he considered a play at $40 a spin, and I've got that at about minus $2,000 by my numbers. So definitely would not play that. He said he would play it, except the amount was too high. It was above his budget, and it's probably above his budget because he plays stupid stuff. And so I told him that I didn't consider it a play, but thanks for showing it to me, and that was it. I ended up playing, I don't know, maybe one, maybe two machines, and ended up ahead $28. That was it. So unfortunately, not really a lot of opportunity there. Did see a couple Asian ladies walking around in there, sitting on machines watching other people play, but other than that, it was pretty quiet. So right now I'm going to move on to another place. This one's about 40 minutes from my current location, and we'll see what we can do there, and then figure out what we're doing after that. So for now, I'm going to let you go, and I'll be back to update you after this. Well, that was a disaster. Went into this place, and just like normal, making my normal rounds, and I make like whatever, 15, 20 bucks, something like that, walking around looking, and I see a machine. I'm like, what? How could this be here? But it was expensive. It was like over $5 a spin. So I look at it for a minute, and I'm ahead. I think I'm ahead like $35 or something at this point. And I say, let's go for it. So that was my big mistake. On that machine, I lost about $1,300 at $5 a spin. So I'm like, well, shoot. Where do we go from here? So there were a few more big machines that I hadn't checked yet. I thought, well, maybe I'll be blessed with something good on those. If not, I'm going home way down on this session. So I go keep checking around. I see nothing, and then I go to this machine and I see multiple plays. I see it at a $3 level. I play that. I win like whatever. It gets me to minus 1,100 at that point. And then played at another level, $6 a spin. And I play that through, and I make some money, maybe like $90 or $100. Now I'm down like about $1,000. I'm looking around, I see another play, and I have to look at it like 5 times, and I have to do my math over and over again, because you make a mistake at a really high bet level, I mean, you could be way off on your EV by thousands of dollars, if not huge, like even 5 figures with some of these machines. So I checked my math like 5 times, and I stopped and I checked it again, and I can do mental math on this, but I did it on the calculator and it was right. So I decided to go ahead and play it at about $20 a spin. Now we're talking massive here, right? So we're talking 50 spins on a dollar machine is $50. 50 spins on this one is $1,000. So there's very little room for error. So I start playing and have a small hit like $300, another one for like $200. I'm just hitting these small things here and there. And I'm like, and every time I stop and I reevaluate and I make sure that I'm in the right place and everything's correct and I don't want to mess it up. And then I continue on. And at this point, I had like $750 or something in the machine. And nothing happened. It wiped me out. So I went from being down like $1,000 to being down $800 to being down $1,500. I put a couple $100 more in there, and it finally hit what I was going for. And I ended up leaving the machine down for the day $611. And actually, that wasn't bad. I was okay with leaving down that much. But I decided, hey, this is going to be either my last stop or one of my last stops. I'm just looking at the picture of one of these. This was a $600 win. Another $400 win. Anyway, I was thinking to myself, this is going to either be my last stop or one of my last stops. So, it's okay to spend some time and do things right. And I looked at a bunch more machines, and I found a couple small plays. Anyway, by the time it was over, so I wasn't down exactly 611 at the end of that machine, but by the time I left, I was down $611, which I felt really good about after being down 1,500 plus minutes before that. So, all right, at this point, man, I do have time if I want to go to another place. I gotta think it over, because here's my problem. Right now I'm gonna get home at about 1:30. If I add this other one, it's gonna be 3:30. Wouldn't it be nice to have a little bit of sleep before going to work? So maybe 1:30 doesn't sound so bad. I'm gonna need to get gas again for the second time in this trip. So let me mull this over here, and I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. So I just stopped to get gas, so we're good for another almost 400 miles. Everything is good there. I went to one gas station to get food, and then the other gas station across the street to get gas, because I kind of figured out where the good food is and where the better priced gas is. So that will kind of lead us into, what did you eat today, MW, and what did you tip today, MW? Today, let's see, what did I eat today? We made tacos this afternoon after lunch, or after church. Actually, my daughter and I made tacos, and I had it in a nice wrap. That was good. Had some vegetables today on the way to the casino, tomatoes, cucumbers, things like that. I got 2 hot dogs from a casino with my comps, and a cream soda to drink, and took a couple bottles home. And then just now I got 2 slices of pepperoni pizza. So not the healthiest day, but it really hit the spot, and everything I ate was not too big, not too many calories. So I'm feeling good right now. Put some nice crushed red pepper on top of that pizza, and it was delicious. So, all right. So, what did you tip today, MW? Actually, today I had 2 jackpots. back to back actually, and I tipped $10 for each of those. So I tipped a total of $20 on slots. And as far as blackjack, we tipped $0.0. So no tips on the blackjack, and a total of $20 tip on the slots. Other than that, we just bought gas. No other expenses really. So right now it is almost 1:30. Well, it will be. I'm looking at the map when I will get home. I will get home at 1:30 if I go home directly. And I think I decided I am going to go home and get some sleep and get up early tomorrow and try to get out of the house to go to the casino before work, and then go to work, casino during lunchtime, and then maybe after work. I'm not sure. This week is going to be a weird week. Monday and Tuesday at work. Wednesday, which is usually my overnight, I have to be back home by 6 o'clock for an in-person meeting. And then Thursday back out, Friday back out. And then also Tuesday, which I'm supposed to be at work, I have 2 meetings for some stuff I do for volunteering in the morning, both on Tuesday morning. So I'm going to have to figure out how to do that, if I can do that at all, depending on meetings and things like that. So, and if I did do that, I would only be able to spend about 30 minutes at each of these, maybe less, just kind of show my face and take off, so, and then get off to work. So that's what's going on right now. I'm heading home. It's 57 degrees outside right now, and yeah, it felt good pretty much the whole time. That last visit really, I'm still kicking myself for it, because the play was a play, but it was so mediocre. I could have done without it, and I'm trying to imagine what would have happened if I had done that. I probably would have left ahead, probably $200 or $300. I probably wouldn't have found everything that I found, or played the more risky bets, which I did. Even though they were positive EV, I played those to get closer to break even at that last casino, where normally I may or may not. I don't know. I probably would have either way, because that machine it has been good to me. So anyway, we'll wrap it up for now, and I'll talk to you more Monday and Tuesday. If you have any questions or comments, the email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.